playing with the fire and determination that is the Bulls one win away from a trip to the finals. But one giant roadblock still stands in the way.
And many of them privately concede that to come back from 0-3 against the Bulls will be virtually impossible. And then went on to ask those same players if in fact anybody on the team would quit. They all said no. They said no, if they lose today, this will be the third straight time, 3 years in a row, that they will have been swept at some point in the playoffs. My professional life, and I couldn't stand to suffer of that kind of shame.
Mark? All right, thank you, Jim. So, Bowie made only 4 starts during the Brian Hill might be in trouble. There could be interest in shutdown.
There's always that kind of talk about coaching changes, especially the way this series has gone.
So Jordan trying to get the edge. So it is Orlando with the first possession as Hardaway works against Pippen. We're just underway in Game 4. Hardaway in the lead, and O'Neal is fouled.
Brian Hill and his coaching staff putting in a couple of new wrinkles and a couple of, this is one of them, getting a pick and roll to the middle of the floor, something that's been very difficult for them to do because the Bulls have been forcing their pick and rolls from that side of the court down to the baseline. But this one got Penny Hardaway in the middle and a good pass to Shaq.
Foul committed by Longley, and Shaq gets the crowd going, following up on the 1 for 9 on Saturday by hitting his first 2.
Is keeping Luke Longley and Dennis Rodman out of early foul trouble. That's what happened to them in Game 2, and that's how Orlando got an 18-point lead.
O'Neal again led by Hardaway. It's a 4-0 Magic lead. Putting the Bulls off the scoreboard. Shaquille O'Neal is held by Rob Hopper, who would not allow the shot of the crowd. Looking for a flagrant foul call, but it says he's all right, and showing no signs of the ankle problem. O'Neal gets inside, and Rodman able to box out for the rebound. Stop passing on 3. O'Neal banking his way, and hitting. So Shaquille with 6 points here in the early going, and it's the Magic 15, the Bulls 4. Orlando Magic hoping to bring the series to a 5th game, which would take place in Chicago on Wednesday night. O'Neal led beautifully by Bowie. And to recall, Shaquille referred to Rodman as a gimmick, and Rodman has been saying, well, Shaquille, the block by O'Neal. Fast break for the Magic. Stop for 3. Gets to it.
The other end, Dennis Rodman barking at the official, Danny Crawford, saying he was thrown to the floor. The Bulls are still getting their running opportunities as the Magic, some of that emotion is starting to wear off. A little slow getting back on defense.
O'Neal turns it over.
But his defense has been exceptional.
Shaquille trying the spin move and was shoved by Longley.
Most of this series, Shaq has stayed going to the middle against Luke Longley and has a lot of success on the spin to the baseline against Wennington. He figured I might as well try it on somebody else. And now Phil Jackson's going to come with Kukoc and go small.
19-14, Orlando Hardaway trying to set up O'Neal. Shaquille made the recovery.
To the floor for Orlando so far this afternoon. Penny getting into the middle of the lane. Could have been a foul on Rodman as he moved his feet and stepped over and forced the bump. But Shaq able to dig out that loose ball and finish.
On NBC.
Will Shaq say?
Well, Shaq and I have a pact that during the playoffs we don't have any discussion substantively about where he'll be next year. As he said, Orlando is definitely his first choice. But, after the season's over, we've got to evaluate all of his options. Brian Hill's doing a great job this quarter.
This quarter. What about Brian Hill and his relationship with Shaquille? But you would not be opposed to having another coach, specifically Chuck Daly?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that after the season's over, a coach as well as all the other factors will be one big consideration.
Thank you very much, Len. Try to enjoy the game now that you've been grilled. Mark?
All right, thank you, Jim. Not that Brian Hill will be concerned with Leonard Armadas. See, Rich, that was not exactly a ringing endorsement that Brian is doing a fine job in the first quarter.
And by the way, that man, Rich DeVos, one of Brian Hill's.
With a perfect first quarter, 13 points in all. Strong effort by Shaquille O'Neal and Penny Hardaway. Played by Kerr. Oh, nice take by O'Neal. And he is fouled. Shaquille has certainly had his way in the first half against Dennis Rodman, who in this series has done a terrific job. Not the idea he has gotten into the head of Shaquille O'Neal. That foul was called on Tony Kukoc.
Well, because there is so little double teaming of Shaq, these defenders have to play him straight up. Normally you would shade towards the middle because that's where the double team is coming. Shaq now 3 for 3 from the line. And I think that's why Shaquille is getting that little opening on the baseline and really making a good, quick, hard move with terrific footwork to the baseline throughout this series.
Over the first 3 games, Shaq 6 of 24 at the foul line. And he's followed up for 1 for 9 on Saturday with a 4 for 4 thus far.
Such a smart play by Michael Jordan. You can just tell in his body language he feels the Magic are getting the benefit of a lot of calls.
Shaquille, we asked Shaq about the matchup.
I think Dennis knows that he can't play me one-on-one. I mean, the rules is one arm, and arm has to be halfway. I mean, he puts 2 hands in the back and a knee in the crotch. He still can't hold me. So, I mean, but this is not a Dennis Rodman Shaq thing. And I'm going to just go out and play my game. And I only speak when I'm spoken to. And I'm going to just go out and play.
Magic 36. And the Bulls 30 with 3 minutes gone by in the second quarter. Beautiful move by Shaquille O'Neal. He now has 14 points.
Shaq has had so much success with the spin to the baseline. Now looks like the defenders are taking that away. Nice little shoulder fake to get Longley to bite on the baseline.
Again, O'Neal going at Longley. Royal kept it alive, but Rodman on the recovery. Performance is 17, and we're early. Second quarter. Thompson. Longley with the rebound. And Luke Longley having a 6:44 remaining in the first half. It's the Magic with a 6-point lead. A steal by Shaq for 2 of his 16 points. Back.
Turning on that third quarter of game 2.
Here is Jordan. Rodman with the putbacks.
That head and drive to the basket. This time he avoided the contact, unable to finish that shot, but Dennis Rodman, who
Hardaway. O'Neal. Shaquille. Unstoppable in this first half. Harper on the penetration. Rodman with the rebound. And a loose ball foul called on the Magic.
well, this is why you do not have to go into Shaq in the post every time, because he gets other ways to score. When he is off the ball, involved in pick and rolls or just on the weak side, just go in there and get some second shot opportunities. And at the other end of the floor, instead of challenging that shot, Shaquille O'Neal got all tangled up with Dennis Rodman and called time
and come up with the timeout.
Kenny is letting the official know that
in the field, Jordan with the step. And rebounded by O'Neal. Shaq with 18. Michael Jordan, oh, that's a backcourt violation. And remaining in the first half. Jordan trying to shovel it. Longley blocked. Blocked by O'Neal. That's Bill Wennington making his way to the scorer's table. And a push is called. Muscle spasms and the neck got worse.
And the whole Magic crowd reacting, obviously. Little shove there by Penny Hardaway as Jordan fell down, but it was a late whistle, and that's why.
O'Neal tried to save it and stepped down. We got a very sincere pack from Dennis Rodman.
Well, Shaq actually took his eye off the ball here and missed it completely, bouncing off his chest and trying to save it and throwing it as hard as he could off Dennis Rodman. I'm sure if he had the opportunity again, he'd throw it even higher if he could.
And a half in the first half. Oh, look out. Rodman and O'Neal with a shot on Rodman. Let's see.
Sorry, now he's milling around, got into a little verbal altercation with Brian Hill, and they continue to jaw at one another. And there's been some hard hitting there. The shove by
O'Neal, who was fouled. Ryan drives the first home. He's 5 of 5 at the line.
Shaq hit him 1, 2, 3 hard times, and Dennis Rodman is trying to grab onto Shaq and maybe instigate a little bit with the grab, and he did what he wanted to do. He got Shaq to react with a push.
Shaquille O'Neal's inconsistent free throws doing a loose ball. Shaquille O'Neal hears it from the crowd. 7 of 9 from the field. 19 points for Shaq.
Had to be a last 2 games.
With 20 points on 7 of 9 from the field. Bob Costas and the Prudential halftime report.
Shaq has 19 points on 7 of 9, and he's hit 5 of 6 from the free throw line.
Shaquille O'Neal led Orlando with 19, and both teams doing it at the foul line in contrast to Game 3. Chicago 10 for 14, Orlando 12 of 15, and how about Shaq? 5 of 6 from the line. 19 for O'Neal and 15 for Hardaway. Before the second half gets underway, let's go to Ahmad Rashad. The Magic lead is down to 6. A minute and a half gone by in the third. Nice move by O'Neal. The spin leading to the stop. 21 for Shaq. It's Orlando by 8.
The Pippen to hold Hardaway. And right now, Shaquille O'Neal, he has it going to the middle. He has the spin move, and Luke Longley has 3 personal fouls, but the way that he is playing at the offensive end, I don't know how important a player is going to be.
Longley setting the screen. Jordan tries to slice his way, and the ball
winds up in the hands of Michael Jordan or Scottie Pippen with that shot clock winding down. But they do have the ability to create, make something happen. No complaint by Michael there. Good block by Shaq. One side of the floor, Bowie likes to throw the alley-oop lob. Doesn't get an opportunity here. There's the hard spin.
Yes, and it counts. And Shaquille O'Neal at the stop, drawing the foul on Longley for Longley, his 4th.
Shaq just uses Luke Longley as a post. He just leans into him, and that freezes his body, and then Shaq is really able to. Luke Longley did finally get a field goal on the last Bulls possession, but he has had his problems here this afternoon.
Hardaway had it poked away by Pippen. Fast break 3-on-1. Left by Pippen. Short foul by O'Neal.
So quickly, but a good job of Bowie getting back, trying to hold the board underneath the basket. And a good job of Shaq getting back in transition. Here's the strip by Pippen to send this fast break going, getting the ball to Pippen in the middle, and Shaq hustling back to stop the lay-in.
6:56 to go in the third. The Magic by 9. 24 of 40. Orlando the first. Who goes with 4? Bushler has 6 on a couple of three-pointers. O'Neal, this time doing it against James Edwards. 66-57, Orlando.
And that time ushering Penny Hardaway up the right side of the floor, knowing that Shaq loves to set up on the left side. He's trying to make him kill some flop.
The outside official on James Edwards.
James Edwards is not in there for his defense, so he might as well.
Edwards called for the hand check of O'Neal. So Shaquille to the line where he is 5 out of 7.
Shaq very rarely posting up on the right side. It's really not that he can't do it. He prefers the left side, but he's pretty effective with a little jump hook on the right side as well.
Well, Shaquille hit his first 5. He's missed his last 3 at the line. Now Royal back, facing Joe Wolf.
The Bulls going small, bringing 2 coach in for Edwards and Brian countering.
13 of his game-high 33 here in the third quarter. Jordan trying to slice his way.
Put the ball down with 2 hands. Let's see if he does. As he gets inside. Now he put it down 1 hand. And I don't think he shuffled his feet.
Shot clock at 7. The pass from Hardaway overthrown. Looking for the 3. Could not get it off. Scott off the dribble. Rebounded by Rodman. And the Bulls are within 2 points.
Shaq did not sprint back on defense. Well, Wiseman knew that Shaquille O'Neal was left in his dust all the way into the backcourt.
Chicago Bull Horace Grant sitting out with a twisted left. Scott looking for the shot, blocked by Puka. And the Bulls have come from behind and now lead by 4. Orlando at one point led by 11. O'Neal trying to keep it alive, but Pippen able to handle it.
Responsible for Chicago winning both of those ball games.
Shaquille O'Neal able to beat the double team, and the Bulls now lead 83-80. Goal from the Orlando of Payne. Might be able to return. Oh, Pippen blocked by O'Neal. O'Neal with a bullet pass. Not handled by Walt. The Bulls have hit 9 of their last shots. That also dates back to the third quarter. As Shaquille makes his move.
And the only hesitation there to make sure both feet behind the line.
All the way, put aside by Rodman. And a foul is called on O'Neal.
At the defense and where his people were, and no doubt he picked out the best person.
And it has to make you wonder.
That leadership role. Also, when you have a player as experienced as Hart and winning so many games and winning them rather handily, they haven't had to worry about it. The dig. But on that last one, Bobby just looked unsure of what he should do.
Shaquille O'Neal handling and then giving it up to Hardaway. In this fourth quarter. And at 20 in Orlando with 3 timeouts to go.
Well, there you see the big difference in scoring first half for Shaq. In the second half, actually in game 1 with the big blowout, Shaq hardly playing a minute there, and the 20-point win by the Chicago Bulls in game number 3. And in this particular fourth quarter, for example, just about every time he has touched the ball.
Dennis Scott at the free throw line for the
game. Nick Anderson having trouble getting involved when he was healthy. And the key guy I think they felt was Dennis.
9 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. They win another championship. Well, they will have that opportunity as they are headed back.
Performance, I think they were anticipating a much more difficult series.
Well, Jordan missing on both, but did not matter. They'll split from the playoffs for the 3rd straight season. Shaquille O'Neal had a good start. However, in the second half, as we have